Mark was born in Gasconade County, Missouri, about 100 miles west of St. Louis. When he was a toddler, very young, his mother and three siblings were burned up in a cabin fire. After that, his father remarried and he moved the family to Texas. We're here on Hickory Creek. It's over about where that lady's honking, just past her. Fond memories of our youth was hiking with our grandfather, exploring Hickory Creek, and him talking about the memories of his youth, where he trapped a badger or where he shot a deer, etc. His own father grew up on Hickory Creek, and in fact his father, Grandpa Mark, settled and raised his family on Hickory Creek. So this is really a special place for the family. A lot of Crider here. He settled here, he raised the family. Perilous times, the Comanches were on rampage. Y'all know the history. We have the stories, you know, sleeping in the cave under Hickory Creek rather than the cabin. So that if Indians came, he could ambush them as they approached the cabin. Strewing brush out in directions from the house, so he could throw fire out in there and light up the night, have light fight by. Those kind of things. There are a lot of stories and legends in our family from those days. We know they may not always be totally accurate anymore over time, but we believe them anyway. But it was a real surprise to us to find out that he had been a ranger. All the stories had him as a scout, was what they were called, the scouts, which turned out to be the local Blanco County militia, which in 1872 was mustered into the Rangers. I'm not sure, I think it was for Mackenzie's campaign. He took a lot of Rangers.
This view is Texas, after all.
Nothing we hadn't heard before.
No.
We call them up the same way.
Finding out he had been a ranger actually added credibility to some of the stories that we'd kind of taken with a grain of salt. Because there's certain things rangers can and do accomplish and did accomplish that not only couldn't be done by normal folks, weren't even allowed by normal folks. It was truly special being a ranger. And when we heard that Uncle Joe, his brother, had been honored with such a cross, we felt it only fitting that Grandpa Mark should be honored. And thus we're here. So basically, he raised a family. He fought to raise a family and protect them here, and that's what he did.
We got a few extra audience out here, it looks like, but that's fine because this is what it's all about. And you know, you consider and remember, he probably saw a lot of these come by himself, so it kind of makes it all fitting. But you know, I'm Joe Davis, president of our association, and I'm honored to be here today to honor and remember Ranger Crider and for what service he did for the state of Texas, and tell you a little bit about the cross and our association. Our association was formed actually in 1897, and it was established in Austin. A lot of these rangers that served back in those days, you know, they were in camps together, and they became like family and everything, living together and serving together, and had a job that they knew that they could depend on each other when the times came to when they were out in battle, either against the Indian or the outlaw. So they became real close, and so they gathered in Austin and they formed what was the Ex-Ranger Association. Through the years it was known as that, and they gathered at various ranger camps around the state where they had served. And then in 1965 the name was changed to the Farmer Texas Rangers because one of our presidents, who was then a Farmer Ranger captain, said there's never ex-ranger. Once a ranger, always a ranger, kind of like the Marine. Once a Marine, always a Marine. So they changed the name to the Farmer Texas Ranger Association. And our mission is to preserve the true history and heritage of the Texas Rangers. We have a large file through our memberships and all, now over 1,000 members, where we keep a file like now on Ranger Crider here, and everybody that joins under his name goes into that file. That's why it's important that we have any bio that you might have that we can put in there that tells his history and about him.